Welcome to another episode of the K&A Football Podcast. As you can see, I am doing the hair reveal today. I can't wear a hat because I referee later today, which is very upsetting. But in other news, I'm feeling really confident about my picks, which is saying something because, as you'll see, my record is very bad. We're really looking forward to picking the games, and as always, guaranteed to be 100% correct. Welcome to another episode of K&A Football Podcast. All right, Caden. Is it week 7 already?
No, 6.
Week 6. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
I was like,
that makes me feel a lot better. I'm like, man, is it week 7? No, week 6. Okay, we're chilling then. You know,
it makes that big of a difference.
Yeah, well, we're a third of the way done, which is pretty sad. Well, yeah, last week we were like at the beginning of the third of the way done. Now we're like actually a third of the way done. Well, almost. At the end of week 6 it will be. Which is pretty upsetting because football just came around and now it's almost to a close.
No, just enjoy it while it's here. Don't look
enjoy football forever.
Yeah, right.
We have football till February. That's so long away. We have so much time. Anyways, how are you feeling about your picks this week, Caden?
I think my picks are gonna be good. They're not gonna be perfect. They're gonna be pretty good, which I think is good enough because I'm holding a 10-point lead in our pick'ems. So,
hey, 10-point lead in football is nothing. That's only a touchdown and a field goal for me. We'll be fine. All right, let's jump right into those pick'ems.
We can talk about this. This is a Monday night game that we weren't ever able to talk about. So the Chiefs beat the Raiders. They made a great comeback. The Raiders looked great throughout the first half. And then the Chiefs just, are the Chiefs. And so Mahomes decided, oh, right, I'm a superstar NFL quarterback. Yeah. I should probably come back. And he did, and then they won 30-29.
Yeah, I find it amazing how I never, ever, if I pick the Chiefs, I never start feeling like, oh no, the Chiefs are going to lose when they fall behind. Because it's like, oh wait, no, Mahomes is going to decide to play football at some point here, and then the Chiefs are going to come all the way back and win the game because Patrick Mahomes. Dude, the Raiders are just a dysfunctional organization.
Man, I don't know. I think that they're like the best 1-4 team that I've ever seen.
That's true. They're the best 1-4 team that I've ever seen because 1-4 teams generally aren't good. And these guys, they have talent, they have potential, but for some reason they just can't get it done. Obviously, going for the 2-point conversion and missing it cost them the game. I'm not going to hold that against them because, as you know, I like to play aggressive. I like when coaches go for 2 and they go on 4th downs. So I'm not going to hold that against them for losing. Obviously, in hindsight, you're like, oh, they should have just kicked the field goal, tied it up, sent it to overtime, whatever. But I'm not going to hold that against them. What I am going to hold against them is that last play where Hunter Renfrow and Devonta Adams just run into each other. And Derek Carr lofts one for one of them, I assume, but they just smash into each other and down they go.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a bad play.
Yeah, you can think what you want about the play and the result. I think they had a good shot at getting a catch or a touchdown on that play.
For sure,
they were both pretty open, but Raiders fans got to be a little upset with Hunter Renfrow. He's technically cost them 2 games. The Cardinals game, he fumbled in overtime. It was just returned for a touchdown. And now this. His pros and his cons, the cons are really outweighing the pros so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Let's jump into this week's. Oh, just kidding.
This was the
Thursday night game.
Fortunately, the Thursday night game, Washington at Bears, football team at Bears. We actually got 2 full touchdowns, which was so incredible. I was so happy to see touchdowns, even though we went pretty much the entire first half without one. I thought that Thursday Night Football on Amazon was cursed. After the Tua injury, the football gods were like, okay, no more touchdowns for you. Because last week, obviously, we didn't have any, and then we went a good while in this one without one. But we got 2, and that's what really matters. What do you have to say about this game?
Yeah, like Austin said, we finally got touchdowns. It might not have been the most crazy offensive scoring game, but it was a lot more entertaining than last Thursday's game. The offenses were at least moving down the field, and then they'd stall in the end zone or throw a pick or something like that. they were moving, and it was fun to watch. Justin Fields, I'll say it every single week, and I will say it one more time. Justin Fields needs help on his team. He can't do it by himself. Last drive, I don't know if you missed the game. The Bears were down by 5 with like a minute to go, and they had a chance to go down and score a touchdown. Justin Fields he breaks off for like a 40-yard run down to like the 5, and then they go, and none of his players can get open for him. I mean, one of the plays he had David Montgomery open, but he wasn't looking his way, which yeah, I guess. But like one at the very end, he made a good throw to Mooney, but Mooney bobbles it in the air and ends up going out of the end zone, so it wasn't a touchdown. Like Justin Fields, he's playing respectable for throwing it to these nobodies and having his offensive line, man. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback hit like that during a game. First drive, sacked twice. Next drive, sacked. Like every play, it'd be a bomb for the Bears, and then the camera would pan to Justin Fields, and he'd just be on the ground, like passed out, because he's just getting killed every single play.
Yeah. It's just like he has to turn into prime Michael Vick every single play, running around behind the line of scrimmage for his life just to
get the
throw
ball off. Like,
yeah.
The Bears are going to ruin his career. Like, he needs an offensive line. I mean, I hear all this time about like, oh, the Bengals offensive line is bad, but yeah, it is. But every now and then they'll give him some time. Like, I don't think there's one play where Justin Fields had a respectable amount of time to throw.
It was not like Washington's rush is insane. It's like
they don't even have Chase. They don't even have Chase Young right now. I mean, if they did, Justin Fields would probably be in a hospital right now.
So true. But yeah, congrats to Washington for the win. But Bears, you need some weapons and you need an offensive line.
Yeah.
There's free agents. Sign them. All right, Debbie, let's hit that. Okay, there you go.
All right,
Debbie.
First game of the week, Ravens at Giants.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Are the Giants 4-1? Yeah, the Giants are 4-1. Do I think the Giants should be 4-1? No, I don't think the Giants should be 4-1. So it pains me to say that I'm going to not pick the 4-1 team and that I'm going to pick the Ravens, because I think that the Ravens are the better team. All the Ravens need to do is not blow a lead. Don't let New York come back, which they aren't known for doing. New York shouldn't be able to come back, but the Ravens can also not hold a lead. So we'll see which is the greater force in this game. I'm going to pick the Ravens. I'm not super confident about this pick in particular, because even though I think the Ravens are better, somehow the Giants keep pulling wins out of nowhere. So I'm going to go with the Ravens, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely with you. I don't understand really how they're winning these games. I mean, clearly it's working for them. If they can keep winning, great. But I don't understand why. Like, Saquon, he's a superstar running back, but he's not out here getting hundreds and hundreds of yards a game. Daniel Jones isn't throwing for a lot. I mean, they're doing what they need to do to win, and I don't understand like how they're 4-1. So, like you said, I think the Ravens are the better team. So I'm gonna pick the Ravens, and I'm pretty confident about this one. However, if the Giants do win this game, I think I'll finally have to start like the Giants might be like I gotta start picking them, because like they might be for real 5-1. You've beat a couple good teams.
Yeah,
but I just don't see like they've beat the Packers, who have looked really dismantled all season. They beat the Panthers with they beat the Titans week 1, where the Titans started 0-2 and looked really bad. They beat the Bears. I mean, they haven't beat these super dominant teams. So if they can beat the Ravens, I think that'd be their best win so far this season for sure. And I start believing in them.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Jacksonville at Colts. What are your thoughts on this one, man?
Now, this one's weird because the Colts had all these expectations going into the year, and they just absolutely fizzled out. Like they beat the Chiefs, and everyone's like, "Oh, maybe this team is back, and maybe this is the team we wanted them to be." Nope. They put up maybe the most boring NFL game of all time last Thursday against the Broncos. And then the Jaguars, on the other hand, they had no expectations going into the year, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh my, this team's legit! Like they're in all these close games, all these games, they look dominant." And then they go and then they lose back-to-back weeks to the Eagles, which the Eagles are a good team, but then they lose back last week to the Texans. So now I don't know what to think about the Jags.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
I'm with you.
yeah, it's a weird circumstance. But the Jaguars have had the Colts number for the last 8 years. So I'm gonna go Jags. I think Matt Ryan and the Colts just can't get it going. The Jags have showed in multiple games that they are a confident team when they want to be. The Colts have not. They showed it in one game, which I really think was just a fluke compared to all their other games this season. So Jonathan Taylor should be back for the Colts. I just traded for him in fantasy, so hopefully he is back and does good. But I'm going to pick the Jags.
Who would be idiotic enough to send you Jonathan Taylor?
Someone who's 0-5 and needs to rebuild their team.
So bad. Yeah, as much as I want to disagree with you, and I want us to not have the same picks, I'm going to have to agree. Look, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that I wouldn't be picking the Colts for almost every game, I probably wouldn't have believed you because they were supposed to be good. But now they're just not. They can't win games. They played the most boring game of all time last week. They're not good. Matt Ryan is just another name in the endless revolving door of quarterbacks since Andrew Luck. So I'm going to have to go with the Jags, not because I think that any team is more dominant than the other. I think at this point they're both pretty mid teams. But I just think, like you said, Jacksonville's had the Colts number for years now, and they've proven themselves in more games than the Colts have. So I'm going to have to go with the Jags.
Just earlier this season, these two teams played. This is already their second meeting of the season, and the Jaguars just absolutely dismantled the Colts. They won 24-0.
Yeah.
The Colts looked awful. So, I mean, I can't believe that we're into the meat of the season. Teams are already playing for the second time, and teams are already having their bye weeks. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Sad. It was crazy.
Sad.
Ooh, this one, man. Browns are going to win. I have full confidence in this one. Browns got this one. Denzel Ward is out with a concussion. Jadeveon Clowney is out yet again. So, our defense will be struggling a little bit.
Like they are anyway.
They're already struggling, and they're going to be struggling a little bit more. But, is Mac Jones even back this week?
I know.
You go look that up. I mean, that's not going to sway my decision at all. But I was just curious. But I think the Browns, they should have this one. They've been literally a half step away from winning every game that they have lost this year. And the Patriots aren't some dominant team like we all thought that the Chargers were going to be. Where you were like, okay, well, this could be the game that Cleveland actually loses big because the Chargers are good. Austin Eckler could go big. Justin Herbert is good. So this could be the game that the Browns get blown out of, and then we barely lost that one. So I feel good about saying that the Browns are going to beat the Patriots, no matter who the quarterback is. Did you find whether Mac Jones is in or not?
He's listed as questionable.
He's not playing. He ain't playing. He out. He ain't playing. What are your thoughts?
Man, this is a really hard one for me. I mean, last year, these two teams played, and the Browns offense got dismantled, and the Patriots offense just destroyed them.
Yep.
I mean, it was ugly. This was one of the bigger blowouts of last season.
We had Baker last year. Don't hold our offense to that.
But your defense was better. Is what I was going to get at.
Okay.
They gave up 50-some points with a respectable defense last year, and now all of a sudden their defense is a huge issue. They're giving up so many yards a game, so many points a game, and now they're going up against that team that they gave up 50 against last year. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yes, Jacoby Brissett has been an upgrade over Baker. The Browns' offense has looked great. However, the Patriots were going up against the number one defense last week, or number one offense last week in the Lions. They have the number one scoring offense in every aspect. And they come out, shut them out. Their game planning, Bill Belichick is a Hall of Fame coach for a reason. I mean, he gets his team ready. They game plan. They know what to stop. Jared Goff had an awful game. They shut him down. And I think that they can do that again. Not nearly as good as they did last week. The Browns will not get shut out. They'll score many points. However, I don't think their defense is good enough. Sure, the Patriots' offense might not be great, but I mean, it wasn't great last season either, and yet they came out and scored 50. So I don't think it's going to be another blowout 50 to whatever last year, but I think Patriots will win. Unfortunately for you to hear. I'm sorry, but I mean, we'll see.
My pushback, I don't care how much you game plan. I don't care. Okay? In my opinion, at this point, in the NFL. I think Nick Chubb is the best running back in the league.
I mean,
and I don't think you can game plan for that.
Stats can't really deny that, but I mean, you can game plan for anything. I mean, getting different people to rush the passer, getting different like fronts for the defense. I mean,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel confident with the Browns on this one. Man, Bengals at Saints.
Yeah.
I know that you want the Saints to lose, but are you going to differ?
Okay, well, the Bengals, they should have the most dominant offense in the league. I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, a revamped O-line.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly revamped O-line. However, they just aren't. Zach Taylor isn't calling good play. Like, it's not working for them on offense. And
yeah.
I don't understand why. Their defense hasn't looked phenomenal in any aspect. But, I mean, the Saints, do we know if Jameis Winston's back?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It doesn't really matter for me if he is or isn't. I'm still going to pick the Bengals. As much as they...
Man, oh man. Try that for the third time.
As much as they have struggled this season so far, like offensively and defensively, I don't think the Saints... I mean, they played a couple good defenses, don't get me wrong. Ravens' defense last week is a really good defense. Saints' defense is all right, but I mean, it's nowhere near the level of the Ravens defense. So I think they can get it to work. You know, I just traded away Jamar Chase in fantasy, so now you know that he's about to have a Hall of Fame season. And so, I mean, I got the Bengals in this one.
No, I do too. I agree with everything you said. The Bengals don't look good. It's clear that Zach Taylor was carried to that Super Bowl by talent and not by his play calling, because he is just the worst. But the Saints also have not looked particularly good. Yeah, like you said, it doesn't matter who's at QB. Honestly, I think that both Jameis and Andy Dalton are about the same level of good QB. Yeah, I got to pick the Bengals only because they've been in better games.
Yeah.
And they've looked better.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints last week, they gave up like 46 to the Seahawks and Geno Smith. Granted, Geno Smith has looked phenomenal, but
yeah,
if you're going against Geno Smith, giving up 46, and now you're going against this offense, I don't care how they've looked, it's going to be decent.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Deborah.
There we go.
There we go. All right. What are your thoughts for this one, Caden? You got Buccaneers at Steelers.
All right, so Panthers, as we and you both know, might be in the running for a top 3 pick. Hopefully, can receive a number 1 pick so they can draft their franchise quarterback of the future. You know, with their new coach, all that works. However, there's a couple bad teams in the league: the Panthers, the Texans, the Washington, the Washington. The Panthers, the Texans, Washington, and the Steelers are some of the bottom teams in the league. Raiders are down there too, but they'll be fine. They'll win games. I'm not worried. You know, Washington got the win on Thursday. I was pumped about that. Gives the Panthers some breathing room that if they go and win some games, they can still have a low pick. You know, they're not going to jump all these teams. Texans won last week. Also, good for us. They need to keep winning, which I think they can. They're a better team than what people give them credit for. Steelers, I have no hope for. You know, they might be the team that is worse than us and goes 1-16. So as much as I would like to say that they're going to win, there's not a chance on earth that they win. You know, Bucks' offense hasn't looked good, but I mean, the Steelers have just not looked there at all. I mean, I feel so bad for Kenny Pickett. His first 2 games as a starter, Buffalo, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, why are they starting him now? That's a pretty tough draw for the rookie.
I mean, just get him the experience
And
before.
trial by fire, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. Look, yeah, like you said, Buccaneers offense has not looked good, but they've put up points where they needed to. They obviously keep winning games. But more than that, the Steelers offense has not looked good at all, and the Buccaneers defense has looked pretty good. So I don't think the Steelers are going to put up any points. It's not going to be a blowout like it was last week, 38-3, like the Bills, 'cause Tampa Bay doesn't have that kind of explosive offense. But I do think the Steelers are going to get shut out in some capacity. Maybe not like shut out as in they score 0 points, but they aren't going to score many. No more than 10, in my opinion. And the Buccaneers will win this game. I don't think there's going to be any question about it. It's not going to be a nail-biter. Buccaneers will win. Watch, now that I say that, and now that I picked the Buccaneers, Steelers are going to come out, and Kenny Pickett's going to literally just be like I don't know,
I'm all for it.
Joe Montana. I don't know.
I
No.
mean, like you just said. I mean, what was I gonna say? It's not gonna be a close game at all. Say hypothetically, it is a close game. Okay, well then Tom Brady gets sacked and they call illegal looking at Tom Brady, so 15-yard penalty.
Exactly. So, the Buccaneers are set because the refs feel bad that
Tom Brady and Giselle
are ending it after 13 years. Very sad, very sad. Yeah, then they're going to be like, oh, they looked at Tom Brady, got to find him and send him to the gulags. So, watch out, Steelers. Is TJ Watt back this week? No, it got pushed back. I was going to say TJ Watt might end up in the gulags after this week, but he'll be okay. He gets to stay. All right, 49ers at Falcons. 49ers for me.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons, don't get me wrong, haven't looked bad. They've been in every single game. They were in the game last week against Tampa. They beat the Browns. They were in the game against the Rams. They were winning for most of the time against the Saints. I mean, they've showed it. And
they're better than we ever thought they would be.
Yeah, I mean, their offense, I expected them to be one of the worst teams in the league, and they're out here winning some games. Props to them. But the Niners, I mean, their defense has just looked out of this world. The best defense stat-wise in the league this year. Them and the Cowboys are kind of at the top, and then everyone else is somewhere else. I mean, they've looked great. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's looked amazing for them. Debo is a superstar receiver. I mean, I'd love to say the Falcons. As much as that sounds weird coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, that does sound really weird.
Fan, my gut. You know what? No, my gut is telling me Falcons. I'm picking the Falcons. I'm not gonna be stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry for Debbie if you have to change that now, but I'm going Falcons. I think that they've just been in every game, and they've got to be frustrated about that. I mean, they've been this close against many good teams, and finally, I'm like they've got to just get what's the word? They got to get past the threshold. What's the word? Threshold of them just not being able to win. They've been in all these games against good teams. Why can't they beat the Niners?
You think they're not going to blow their lead again?
They haven't done that this season. Oh, yes,
they have.
Oh, yeah.
They have. Don't you worry. Yeah, I'm going with Niners here. I like everything you're saying, but I just think you're wrong. So I'm taking the Niners. All right, Battle of the Circles.
Yeah, I was about to say. I hate these logos sometimes. They're just when they're matched up like this. It
just looks bad.
It does.
Yeah, Debbie would know all about
that. Go back and watch.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the logo ranking episode.
I forget what episode it was.
Debbie.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jets at Green Bay. This one's actually interesting for me because Green Bay has not looked good at all. They look honestly terrible, and the Jets keep winning, which I never thought I would say, but the Jets keep winning. At the end of the day, though, I can't pick the Jets yet. I can't pick the Jets yet, and I can't not pick the Packers yet. That's where it falls for me. In my mind, I can't say that the Jets are good enough to win, and I can't say the Packers are good enough to win, but I also can't say the Packers are bad enough to lose, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take the Packers here. This is kind of just like hey, Packers, you might want to start stepping it up because I'm not going to pick you after this week if you lose again.
Oh, because they care.
They care. They listen to this. Matt LaFleur called me the other day, and he's like, hey, what do you think? What do you think we should do? I'm looking for some new plays. So I tossed over my playbook to him. So we'll see what they come up with this week. But if they play bad, that's not on my playbook. That's on Packers wide receivers being bad.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna take the Packers here, just because I can't not pick them.
Yeah, I mean, unlike you said you can't not pick the Packers yet. I'm completely the opposite way. I've kind of lost all faith in the Packers. Maybe I'm saying that a little too early, but they've just looked awful. I mean, they got to get some receivers, and maybe they can start looking like a competent offense again. However, the Jets are like a mini version of the Giants, who I also don't believe in much. They're winning games, but I don't know why. And
I don't know
pretty
why.
much same as the Jets. I mean,
yeah,
they're 3-2. Zach Wilson's 2-0 as a starter, but I mean, I don't believe in either team much. But I'm gonna pick the Packers just because I think they got the better quarterback, they got the better defense, better run game. I mean, they can just run the ball, get that going. That was working the second and third week of the season. You did that, and you looked incredible. I don't know why they went away from it. They got to start doing that again, and maybe they can start looking like a good offense again.
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to either of these. This game, pretty much at all, is kind of whatever. But
yeah, I agree. All right. Vikings at Dolphins. Is Tua back this week?
No.
Probably not. Tua won't be back for the rest of his
Skylar
career.
Thompson.
Skylar Thompson, what kind of 7th-string quarterback are we saying right now? Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I have to go Vikings on this one, is because, honestly, I don't see a way in which the Dolphins win this. I mean, if you don't, I understand that they still have talent on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense still looks very quick. But at the end of the day, if you don't have anyone to get the ball to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, I don't see how you win games, because that was their offensive plan. So I'm sorry for any fantasy owners that have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Until you Caden. Until you have Tua back, I don't see how those guys are going to be putting up decent points. So you may want to start trading those guys away for some more capital. So I have to go Vikings here, not because the Vikings have looked good, but because I don't believe that the Dolphins can get it done without Tua.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I believe everything you said. Since Tua's gone out, Waddle on my team has gotten me like 3. Like, he's done nothing for me, which really sucks because he was looking phenomenal with Tua, and now it's just not. And, I mean, I don't understand why they don't call plays. Like, you got the 2 quickest receivers in the league with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Throw some short routes and get them like screens going. Like, why you got to try to take all these deep shots? Like, he's just not targeting them either. Like, so I don't think the Dolphins are a bad team. I think they can win with Skylar Thompson. But I also don't think they're game planning well enough around his skill set and what he can and can't do to win them a game. I don't think the Vikings are a great team, but I just think they're playing Skylar Thompson, and the Dolphins aren't going to scheme for him. They're just going to keep it as the normal Tua playbook, but he's not Tua. He's Skylar Thompson. So, yeah. I mean, the Vikings, sure, they're not great. They barely beat the Bears last week, but I think that they can hold off. I mean, Jefferson, every couple weeks, he has that week where he just like becomes, I mean, he is good, but he just has that week where he's the greatest receiver of all time. And I'm feeling it this week.
I hope so.
You have him?
I have him. And in one of my leagues. It's fine. Yeah, like you said, just call some quick slants, get them open, have them make the space to make the big plays. But, play to your quarterback skill set.
Yeah. I'm picking the Vikings.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he just dogged on the... dogged all over the...
They're not going to win with Skylar Thompson. I'm picking the Dolphins.
Genius. All right, Caden, I'll let you talk about this one real quick.
Yeah. So, I mean, Matt Rule's fired, and Baker isn't playing in this game. I think that's pretty much Panthers fans' dream. It just happened in a week. Tell me why, Austin. Tell me why I have a little bit of optimism going into this game.
You have optimism, Caden, because you no longer have the absolute thorn in the Panthers' side known as Matt Rule. You no longer have to be starting Baker Mayfield. Ben McAdoo can actually call plays.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the ball, the LA Rams have looked dysfunctional as an organization.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why you feel optimism.
Yeah. Like Austin said, our offensive coordinator can now call plays. It came out this week that he wasn't even allowed to call plays this week, or all season so far. Matt Rule has been calling the plays. What was the point of the offensive coordinator? He stands there.
He's getting paid to twiddle his thumbs in the press box. What am I going to do up here?
Seriously, how dysfunctional you got to be as a coach? But that's behind us. Matt Rule's gone. I'm not talking about him. So PJ Walker starting this game for the Panthers, who's 2-0 as a starter. Rams have looked very dysfunctional all season. But no, I mean, so have we. But I mean, for some reason, this is giving me feelings of the Saints game. I was like, there's no way we should win. But why are we maybe going to win? We should be in the battle for the number 1 pick. I still think we are, even if we do somehow win this game. I hope we get the first pick. I mean, obviously, if we would somehow become PJ Walker becomes all of a sudden like Patrick Mahomes and we go to the playoffs, I mean, I'm down for that too. But I don't think that's going to happen as much as I would love it. I think that we're more likely to get a top 3 pick. I'm going to go with my heart. I don't really care. I'm picking the Panthers. PJ Walker, he's got a better skill set than Baker. He can run the ball and throw the ball. Baker can throw the ball and get it batted down by the D-line. We can finally call offensive plays. Rams have looked dysfunctional. Give me the Panthers with momentum.
This is where I make my comeback. If Caden picks the Panthers every week, and I match his picks every week other than the Panthers games, This is how I don't spend 24 hours in a Waffle House. I'm taking the Rams.
I figured. I mean, probably gonna be right.
This is
like-
where I make my comeback.
I'm so far down that if I switch and pick the Rams and the Panthers win, I mean, obviously I'm gonna be pumped the Panthers won, but like I'm gonna be like,
Right.
dude, I had that. So sticking with my gut.
Fair enough.
All right, bird teams. Cardinals.
Battle of the Birds.
Battle birds. Cardinals at Seahawks. Look, here's the deal. At the beginning of the year, I would have told you that the Seahawks would be bad because they did not have a quarterback. But then, the offensive genius of Pete Carroll seems to be carrying a quarterback who the NFL never thought we would see again and didn't even know was playing until this year. Geno Smith has looked absolutely electric, and the Seahawks offense has looked dominant for sure. They've put up so many points every single game.
Yeah.
So, gotta go with the Seahawks.
I mean, who would win in a fight, a Seahawk or a Cardinal? A Cardinal is a little teeny tiny bird that represents Ohio. Represent Ohio, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
And a Seahawk is, a Seahawk. What even is a Seahawk? Is it like a seagull that's at the beach?
No, it's like a hawk, but it lives at
Oh,
the sea.
okay. It's a sea. It's a hawk. Hawks are pretty dominant birds. Cardinals are little tiny birds.
Everyone, go to the comments, go to the Instagram, and next week, Caden has to pick all of his games based on which mascot would win.
I'm not done talking. Just like in a real fight, okay? The Seahawks and the animals would destroy a Cardinal. And this Seahawks team.
The History Channel.
Welcome to National Geographic. I know, but just like in real life, the Seahawks team is more dominant than the little teeny tiny Cardinals team like Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
That's where I was alluding to, man. And also, didn't the Call of Duty come out this week?
Yeah,
It did.
yeah.
All right, so the new Call of Duty dropped this week. Kyler Murray has been countlessly playing some Call of Duty since it dropped. No way he's ready for the game. He's going to go to the game. He's going to be like, I just want this to be done. I'm going to go put some COD.
Wait, are you sure, Austin?
I have no idea. I was just going with whatever Caden said. I don't play
Oh,
COD.
I thought it did. Either way, he was just like not steadying. And look, Seahawks are better. Their offenses look dynamic. The Cardinals defense has struggled. I don't see a way. I mean, going into the year, there's no way I'm ever picking the Seahawks in this game. The Cardinals' last game without DeAndre Hopkins, I think things change a lot for them when he comes back. But I think the Seahawks have just looked so good against decent teams. Cardinals don't wow me in any way. I'm going to pick the Seahawks. That was a weird way of going at it.
Unless he's playing the beta version.
Yeah,
he's definitely playing the beta version.
Dude, he did. Yeah,
Don't
come
need
on.
him.
He's got money to buy that.
He's playing it.
So yeah, I'm picking the Seahawks as well. If you didn't understand from
He
my
didn't get that.
bird analogy.
All right, this should be a good game. This was an absolute shootout at the end of last year. Game
for
of like the years. This was
Yeah.
one of the best games I've ever seen, other than of course the Broncos Colts game last week. This game was actually very good. It was shot for shot. Both quarterbacks threw for insane yardage, insane touchdowns. The offenses were unstoppable. It was a game of offenses and no defense. Maybe we'll get that again this week.
Hopefully.
Maybe the Bills will come out swinging and the Chiefs will fall behind as they normally do, and then Patrick Mahomes will suddenly remember that he's getting paid $500 million to play quarterback. Who knows? At the end of the day, I am taking the Chiefs.
Dang, man.
I am taking the Chiefs. I really like Patrick Mahomes. I really like the Chiefs. I didn't think I would. I was on the fence about them at the beginning of the year. Without Tyreek, how would they look? They've looked great. They look really good. The Bills, their defense, lights out. Their offense, electric. Like, after saying that, you're like, Austin, you should pick the Bills. You just said that the Bills are the better team. Yeah, I think they are. But I believe that Patrick Mahomes is an absolute wizard. Okay? He's been blessed by like a little leprechaun that sits under his helmet and he like casts his little spells and then Patrick Mahomes goes crazy. That's what happens, and that's why the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah. I mean, when they lost Tyreek Hill, everyone's like, oh, this Chiefs team, they might be done. They might get last in their division. You said that.
I did say that.
They might get last in their division. They lost Tyreek Hill. They look better.
They
They
look better
give the
without
ball to
Tyreek.
everyone. They're throwing to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, represent for my fantasy team. They're throwing to Tyreek or Travis Kelce, who's having like 4 touchdowns a game, like last week. What are you doing, Debbie? That's really weird back there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is having the best season of his career. They look so good.
Yeah.
And the Bills, don't get me wrong, probably the best team in the league, paper-wise, and all that stuff. This was the game of the year last year. Gabe Davis scored 4 touchdowns. Please do that again. I mean, it was a great game. I think this will be one of the better games, probably the best game of the season. Yeah. But when I was going through this, I saw this and I was like, that hesitation, I was like, Chiefs. This is Chiefs have just, like you said, they're not going to lose. Like, I don't care how much they're down, they're not out of it. Like, Mahomes can do that to easily come back. Like, in the divisional round last year, there was like, 7 seconds left, 13 seconds left, and they needed to go like 40 yards to get a field goal. But what do? One play, they're in field goal range. Because they're just like that. Mahomes is just that guy. And I think no matter how much they're down, they're not going to be out of it. I am not calling the Bills a bad team at all. Neither of you. Just because we're on a consensus of this does not mean the Bills are our best team. They are probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl at this point in the season.
Absolutely, yeah.
However, the Chiefs,
it's unfortunate that these teams are in the same conference. Because if this could be the Super Bowl matchup,
this would be the greatest Super Bowl of all time. And it would be the Super Bowl every year in and year out.
Yeah.
But I'm also going the Chiefs. Again, easily could swing the other way. But
yeah, total agreement.
I think it'll be a crazy offensive game.
Yeah.
Game of the year, in my opinion.
Sure. All right. Easy for me. Dallas at Philly. Eagles are going to win.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to win.
Debbie's just turned into an Eagles fan back there. I don't know if it's because he has Jalen Hurts.
It's because he has Jalen Hurts.
Or because he's just a bandwagon.
He's bandwagon
It's
too.
because I have Jalen Hurts.
It's because
Debbie didn't have a team, and then he's like, I'm going to wait until this season.
Could see who's the
and
best
then
team.
Whoever the best team record-wise is, I'm going to like them. And then it's like, oh, the Eagles are 5-0? I'm an Eagles fan. Die, ride or die, baby.
Yeah. I got Eagles for this one. I am going to root for them until the day that they lose, and then maybe I'll stop picking them. But until then, I really want to see them go undefeated. I love an undefeated team. Those 72 Dolphins need to get off their high horse. So I'm pulling for the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win, and I think they're the better team, despite the lights out defense from the Cowboys.
Like you, I'm pulling for the Eagles in every game until they lose. I love an undefeated team, as long as it's like not a team that I don't like. But I don't have anything against the Eagles. So I love Jalen Hurts. I think that they're a great team. I love that they're undefeated. But I gave this one a lot of thought. Sunday night games, they're always so hyped up, like this is gonna be a crazy offensive game. But they're always kind of like low scoring, like just play the pace of the game and try to like pull out and get the win.
Yeah.
But like it's never some crazy offensive game or like the hype that it's supposed to be. It's always like some gotta do this to win. Like it's nothing special. And I'm like, and I have a feeling this one's going to be like that too. There's a lot of hype around these two teams, and it's like, oh, it's going to be a high-scoring game, good game. I think it's going to be more low-scoring, kind of like, not boring, but like not as crazy as everyone's expecting. I am still going to pick the Eagles because I don't know if I can trust Cooper Rush. It's 5-0 as a starter, going back with last year too. But, his defense has kind of carried him, I think, through those games. And the Eagles' offense is, the best offense the Cowboys have played yet this season. So I think that they can. Yeah. They won't be able to they have a good defense, don't get me wrong, but it won't be as much of a factor as it has been previous weeks.
I agree. Why do the Broncos keep getting primetime slots?
Dude, literally, I looked at the schedule and I was like, this is the Monday night game, and I was like, oh. I don't understand. I think they still have like 3 more this year.
That's terrible.
Like, dude, they've already hit. This is already what, their 3rd or 4th?
3rd, I think.
They're the most boring team to watch in the league, and this is their 3rd primetime game. Thankfully, it's not going to be a game they're going to be blown out of the water. Chargers will easily win this game.
Yep.
I don't care. They struggled all season pretty much. They were in a close game last week against the Browns, but Broncos.
But it's the Broncos.
Let's
ride. No, they aren't going to ride. They're going to crash and burn.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, he's looking great. He's looked amazing the last 2 weeks. Hopefully Keenan Allen is back. He's been out from a hamstring longer than Brian Robinson was from getting shot. What does that tell you? But I don't see a way they lose.
I completely agree. Chargers by a landslide. Broncos country will not ride. Chargers
Broncos
all the way.
country needs to trade for Geno Smith.
Back straight Russell Wilson, back for Geno Smith.
But yeah,
Brilliant. All right, yeah, Debbie, let's jump to the what we look like this week.
what we look like this week.
Yeah, with our picks this week, and then
Dude, I'm rocking the.
check our
If you're not
overalls.
watching on YouTube, I am rocking the old, quote unquote, vintage.
Cam Newton 2016 jersey.
Cam Newton jersey. Last night at our high school football game, the theme for the student section was jerseys. So a couple of us wore some throwbacks, I guess you could say, and I kind of just kept it
Yeah.
on,
See, we agreed on most of these.
We
We only
did.
disagreed on
which is a good thing.
3, 4 of these.
We agreed on one. Or we disagreed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. I can live with 5.
I
can.
thought-
I can
Dude,
win all of
I
those.
feel like, and I'm not confident about these splits either. Wait, I didn't pick the Jets.
You did it.
No,
Okay.
he
okay.
picked the Jets.
no.
Let the
go
record
back.
show. Let the
I-
record show. He picked the Jets.
I did not pick the Jets. So, but
Yeah, pretty good. Debbie, let's jump to the overalls real quick so we can see how much Waffle House I'm gonna have to indulge in. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. I did go up a couple percentage points. I'm at 41%. I'm 34 and 47. That's pretty bad. Caden's 44 and 37 with 54%. So I'm creeping up on him. Getting up there. But we got a long hill to climb and 2/3 of the season to go. So, hopefully I can conjure some Patrick Mahomes magic and get myself a little leprechaun.
I mean, you say all this about how you're gonna do the Waffle House, but I mean, it's only week 6 and there's 18
It's only
weeks.
week 6. He said it here first, folks.
I'm not saying I'm gonna
He
lose.
said it here first, folks. He wants to stay in the Waffle House.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, he wants the Waffle House.
Go back and rewind. That
with
is.
their burnt hash browns. Waffle House sucks.
Facts.
Anyways.
Hold on.
No, yeah, Waffle House is the worst.
Okay,
I hate
okay.
Waffle House.
Some Waffle House. Because, okay, this one time, I went to a Waffle House, and I got their, hash brown bowl, right? And so they gave me the hash brown bowl after, 30 minutes, and one side was completely, black, burned, uneatable. The other side was raw potatoes. And there was no middle, in between cooked. It was just burnt and raw.
Bro,
it's the worst.
That's the Waffle House experience.
Yeah, that is the one.
You gotta,
That's what I'm saying.
you gotta enjoy it.
No, you don't enjoy
That's
that.
all I did.
This is why no
I
one
ate,
goes to a Waffle House.
five
I
bites.
love Waffle House. I'm
Oh
sad-
my
Bro.
gosh.
we don't have one very close to our house. I mean, it's in what, North Canton?
It's in
There's a
Belden.
lot.
I'm kidding, guys. No, people can't know.
Yeah,
can't
no,
know
they don't know where we live.
No, we don't know where we are.
Oh.
No, but whenever we go visit our cousins in Georgia, they have a Waffle House. 3
We
minutes.
can rule out Georgia. We don't in Georgia.
Whenever our cousins live in Georgia.
Now you're telling them where your cousins live, Kaden.
Well, because I said whenever we go visit our cousins in Georgia,
Ah.
they have a Waffle House. I don't know, 3 minutes from their house. So at least once a week when we go visit them, we stop at Waffle House and we eat there. Dude, I love Waffle House. I can't believe you guys are
issues.
dogging on it. You guys don't even deserve to go. I deserve to lose now because
fine.
I get to go.
Caden deserves to lose. Caden, start losing. All right. That's it for the week. That's it for our pick'ems. As always, guaranteed 100% correct. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching another episode of K&A Football. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and you can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
If you want to listen to our last video, literally just click our page and go to it. You're already on the page. It's not that hard. Just go find it. Peace.